Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to this comprehension exercise on Aztec chocolate. So it may surprise you to know that chocolate isn't new. The Aztecs were enjoying chocolate long before anybody in Europe even knew it existed. In fact, the first time it was introduced to Europeans, they had no idea what to do with it and refused to eat it. Chocolate hasn't always been the sweet treat that you might enjoy today. The Aztecs didn't even really eat it. They used the cocoa beans to make a very bitter drink. This was often given to their leaders during celebrations. One of the most famous Aztec rulers was Moctezuma II. There is now a brand of chocolate named in his honor. To get rid of the bitter taste, the Aztecs mixed spices and corn into their drinks. So Christopher Columbus was one of the first foreign explorers to take the cocoa beans out of South America. He took them back to Spain, where they were declared too bitter to do anything useful with. It wasn't until Hernán Cortés traveled to Mexico in 1519 that Europeans began to understand the delights of chocolate. He saw the Aztecs prepare and present their chocolate drink for Moctezuma II and took the idea back to Europe. People in South America still make chocolate drinks the traditional way. The drinks are known as chilite. Even though the Aztecs used the cocoa beans to make their chocolate drinks, that wasn't their only use. They used the white pulp around the beans to make wine and other drinks. Because of their love of cocoa beans, the Aztec placed great value on them. Tribes who were ruled by the Aztecs were often asked to pay taxes in the form of beans, and the beans were used as currency inside Aztec cities as well. It was very unlikely that a slave or person of the lower classes would ever be seen drinking or eating chocolate. For them, the beans were too valuable. Slaves were able to save up their beans and use them to buy their own freedom. When the Aztecs prepared their chocolate drink, an oily layer formed on the surface. This was cocoa butter. They used this as a sun cream to protect them from the harsh Mexican sun. Cocoa butter is still used today in sun cream and moisturizing cream as one of the main ingredients in white chocolate. Chocolate also had deep religious significance for the Aztecs. They believed that the cocoa tree was a symbolic bridge between earth and heaven. Before they sacrificed their enemies to their gods, they would feed them chocolate to ensure their gods were kept happy. Cocoa beans was given to priests during important ceremonies. Couples would drink a cup of chocolate and exchange cocoa beans during their marriage ceremony. They believed that drinking chocolate would give them some of the god of learning and the wind of wisdom from a king or god, in other words, who was called Quetzalcoatl. It's a difficult pronunciation, but try that. Aztecs spoke a language called Nahuatl. Some words from the Nahuatl language still exist today, albeit slightly changed. In fact, the Nahuatl term for chocolate was chocolate. So sounds similar, and you can see the spelling there as well. And the hint is X has a ch and sound when spoken. So chocolate. So try that as well. All right, so there you go. That's the history of the Aztecs in South America many hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And have a read of this again one more time, and you've got some follow-up questions to answer. We'll discuss it in much more detail in our next class. Good luck with this.